Somewhere deep in classified files, a secret waits. A technology so advanced, it sounds like science fiction. But what if it's already real? A craft that defies everything we know about physics. Triangular, silent, hovering without any visible propulsion. What powers this thing? The trail leads straight to the United States Navy and a series of patents that have the entire world asking questions. Let's dive in. Meet the man at the center of this mystery. A scientist whose ideas could rewrite the laws of physics. His name, Dr. Salvatore Pais. His patents describe something impossible. A craft that flies through air, dives underwater, and even operates in space. One vehicle, 3 domains. Dr. Pais isn't some random inventor. He's a Navy aerospace engineer with serious credentials. And the government backed his wildest ideas. Why? Between 2016 and 2019, the Navy filed multiple patents under his name. Not theoretical papers. Official patents, protected intellectual property. The flagship invention, a hybrid aerospace underwater craft, a vehicle that transitions seamlessly between water, air, and the vacuum of space. Unbelievable. At its core sits a high-energy electromagnetic field generator. This device supposedly creates fields so powerful they bend the rules of reality itself. Navy officials actually defended these patents in public. They claimed the technology was operable, not theoretical, actually working. What do they know? The Pentagon has poured billions into black-budget programs. Could these patents be the first glimpse of where that money actually went? Dr. Pais describes something called engineering the vacuum. It sounds crazy, but what if the empty space around us isn't actually empty? Quantum physics tells us the vacuum teems with energy, tiny particles popping in and out of existence constantly. What if we could harness that? The timeline is fascinating. First patent filed in 2016, then more followed, each one building on the last. A deliberate progression. Imagine a craft that launches from an aircraft carrier, dives beneath the waves, and emerges on the other side of the ocean. Transmedium travel. The physics involved requires manipulating electromagnetic fields at the atomic level, controlling the very fabric of space itself. Is that even possible? Navy engineers reportedly worked on these concepts for years, not as fantasy projects. As legitimate research and development, taxpayer-funded, the Pais effect refers to his theoretical framework, a way to generate massive electromagnetic fields using spinning plasma. Revolutionary if true. These fields would theoretically interact with the quantum vacuum, reducing mass, canceling inertia, enabling impossible maneuvers. Sound familiar? The patents went through official USPTO channels. Examiners initially rejected them as impossible. Then the Navy intervened directly. Interesting. One patent specifically describes a craft using an inertial mass reduction device. Read that again? Inertial mass reduction, they're reducing weight. Inside the craft, cutaway diagrams show electromagnetic coils arranged in specific patterns. The geometry matters. Everything is precisely calculated. Witnesses to similar craft report the same thing. Silent hovering, instant acceleration, impossible turns. Exactly what these patents would enable. The triangular design appears repeatedly in sightings and now in official documents. 3 points. 3 propulsion nodes. Coincidence? Unlikely. The high-energy electromagnetic field generator is the heart of everything. Without it, nothing else works. It's the key to the kingdom. The field supposedly creates a protective bubble around the craft, a quantum vacuum plasma bubble, shielding it from the environment entirely. Traditional aircraft fight against air resistance constantly. This craft would slip through the atmosphere like it wasn't even there. Zero drag. By engineering the vacuum, the craft manipulates the space around it, not pushing against air, actually warping the fabric of space-time itself. High-ranking Navy officials signed off on these patents personally. They staked their reputations on technology that sounds impossible. Think about that. The electromagnetic spectrum holds secrets we're only beginning to understand. The right frequency and the right power could unlock everything. Witnesses described these craft diving into water without slowing down. No splash, no resistance. The bubble protects it from impact forces. Einstein showed us space-time can bend. Gravity warps it, naturally. What if we learn to warp it artificially? That's what Pais proposes. Inside the craft, pilots would experience something strange. no GI forces during extreme maneuvers. The inertia cancellation protects everything inside. Notice something missing. No exhaust, no visible propulsion system, no heat signature. This craft would be invisible to conventional detection. Stealth perfected. The first patent appeared in 2016. What was happening in military aerospace that year? What prompted this sudden push for impossible technology? Fighter pilots describe encounters with objects making instantaneous right-angled turns. Physically impossible for any known aircraft. But not for this one. The electromagnetic generator uses rotating plasma fields, plasma superheated gas conducting electricity, spinning at tremendous speeds inside the craft. Gravity pulls everything down constantly. But electromagnetic fields can theoretically counter that pull, push against gravity itself. Anti-gravity achieved. Not everyone believes. The scientific community remains deeply divided. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Where's the working prototype? Multiple witnesses across decades describe silent, triangular craft hovering over cities. If these patents work, those sightings suddenly make sense. The magnetic field disruptor is specifically mentioned in TR-3B lore. And guess what Pais's patents describe? Eerily similar technology. Connection confirmed. Enthusiasts have long claimed the TR-3B exists. A black triangle using field propulsion. Now official Navy patents describe exactly that technology. The classic description: 3 lights at the corners, dark, triangular body, silent hovering, impossible speed. It matches the patent descriptions perfectly. Compare conventional jet propulsion to this, chemical combustion versus quantum vacuum manipulation. It's like comparing a bicycle to a Operating these systems would require entirely new training, new controls, new understanding of physics. Everything about flying would change. The plasma vortex is critical. By spinning plasma at extreme speeds, you generate electromagnetic fields of unprecedented power. That's the secret sauce. Mass reduction sounds like magic. But if you can manipulate how matter interacts with space-time, you literally make heavy things lighter. Physics allows it. Inertia kills pilots in extreme maneuvers. But if you cancel inertia inside the craft, humans can survive accelerations that would normally be fatal. The Navy's research facilities are scattered across the country. Which ones worked on this? How many scientists were involved? We still don't know. Picture the craft surrounded by nested electromagnetic fields, each layer serving a different purpose. Protection, propulsion, stealth, all working together. Superconductors conduct electricity with zero resistance. At room temperature, they'd revolutionize everything. Pais claims to have solved this problem. General relativity describes space-time as flexible. Massive objects bend it, but concentrated energy bends it too. Enough energy could create propulsion. Zero-point energy is the quantum vacuum's baseline. Even at absolute zero, particles fluctuate. There's energy everywhere in empty space, waiting to be tapped. The physics required makes Einstein's work look simple. We're talking about manipulating fundamental forces, rewriting the rules of how the universe operates. One theory involves mercury plasma spinning at incredible pressures, millions of atmospheres, creating electromagnetic effects we've never seen before. The pressures involved are staggering. 250,000 atmospheres. That's what the patents specify. The engineering challenges are immense. A craft using this technology wouldn't just fly. It could leave Earth's atmosphere entirely. Transition from air to space without rocket stages, revolutionary. Think about fighting gravity. Normally impossible. But if you generate a field that repels gravitational influence, you effectively float. Anti-gravity achieved. The electromagnetic field could also serve as a shield, deflecting debris, blocking radiation, protecting the craft from any environment. Built-in armor? Who flies these things? That's classified too. But somewhere, pilots trained on conventional aircraft made the leap to something extraordinary. The patent diagrams look like science fiction made real, cross-sections showing impossible technology. But they're official government documents. Quantum vacuum fluctuations happen constantly, particles appearing and disappearing. What if we could influence these fluctuations, control reality itself? Speed comparisons are shocking. Bullets travel fast. Jets faster. Rockets faster still. This craft, off every known scale, hypersonic doesn't cover it. Some theories suggest compact fusion reactors power the electromagnetic systems. Unlimited energy contained in a small space. The ultimate power source. Room temperature superconductors would change everything. No cooling required. Practical applications everywhere. And Pais claims he's achieved exactly this. These blueprints belong to the U.S. Navy. They're defending them legally. Spending resources protecting something they say is operable. Actions speak. But wait, not everyone is convinced. Skeptics raise serious questions. What if this is all an elaborate misdirection? A trick on a global scale? Consider the possibility. Disinformation. Fake technology designed to waste enemy resources. Make China and Russia chase impossible physics. Brilliant if true. Great power competition is real. The US, China, and Russia constantly try to gain advantages. What better way than leading enemies astray? Imagine adversary scientists spending years on worthless research. Billions of dollars wasted. All because they believed American patents were real. Wild goose chase. Intelligence agencies play long games. Decades-long deceptions. Plant false information. Watch enemies waste resources. These patents could be exactly that. The misdirection theory is elegant. It explains why patents are public. You want enemies to find them. To believe them? To waste everything chasing ghosts? Psychological operations are real military doctrine. PSYOP influence enemy thinking. Make them doubt themselves. Make them invest in the wrong directions. What if Dr. Pais is part of an elaborate game? A scientist lending credibility to impossible technology, all to deceive foreign intelligence services. China reportedly spends heavily on exotic propulsion research. Russia too. Did American patents spark that investment? Are they falling for the trap? But true believers counter with powerful arguments. Why would the Navy defend patents so vigorously if they're fake? Why spend real resources on deception? The slow drip theory suggests gradual disclosure, preparing the public for revelation. These patents are just the beginning. More truth is coming. What we see publicly might be the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface, decades of secret development, operational craft already flying. We just don't know. The timeline makes sense. UFO sightings in the 1980s and 90s, then patents in 2016, eventually, full disclosure. The pattern suggests planned revelation. Whistleblowers hint at more people who worked in classified programs. They can't say everything, but they suggest these technologies are very real. Congressional hearings on UAPs have increased. Officials asking hard questions. Something is pushing for transparency. The walls are coming down slowly. Black budget programs consume billions annually. Money that disappears into classified projects. Some of that almost certainly funded this research. Area 51, Groom Lake, secret test facilities where impossible aircraft take flight. If the Pais craft exists, it's been tested there. Guaranteed. Multiple craft in formation. A squadron of triangles. If operational, they represent complete air dominance. Nothing else could compete. Nothing. Development takes decades. The B-2 stealth bomber took 20 years. This technology, probably longer. We might be seeing craft designed in the 1980s. Civilian witnesses keep reporting the same things. Triangular shapes, silent flight, impossible acceleration. Their descriptions match the patents exactly. Coincidence? News coverage has increased dramatically. Mainstream outlets taking these patents seriously. The conversation has shifted from ridicule to genuine inquiry. The debate continues. Skeptics versus believers. Both have valid points. Both could be right in different ways. The truth is frustratingly unclear. Evidence sits on both sides of the scale. Patents, sightings, testimonies favor reality. Lack of demonstration, physics challenges favor deception, balanced. If real, this represents physics beyond Einstein. Warp drive concepts made practical. Field propulsion, replacing chemical rockets, a new era of travel. Pais's equations modify our understanding of electromagnetism and spacetime. New variables, new relationships. If verified, Nobel Prize-worthy immediately. The performance specifications boggle the mind. Mach 20+ speeds. Altitudes reaching space. Maneuverability defying human tolerance. Superhuman capabilities. No sonic boom. Craft moving faster than sound. Without the characteristic crack. The quantum bubble prevents shockwave formation. Silent at any speed. Traditional aircraft glow hot on infrared sensors. These craft would appear cool. The electromagnetic field contains heat. Perfect thermal stealth achieved. Watch a craft underwater, then bursting through the surface, then climbing toward space. All in seconds. 3 environments conquered with 1 vehicle. Transmedium travel was science fiction yesterday. Today, it's in Navy patents. Tomorrow, it might be demonstrated publicly. The future arrives faster than expected. Military doctrine would transform overnight. Everything changes when you can ignore physics. Current weapons, strategies, assumptions all, obsolete. Instantly, aerospace corporations would face disruption. Billions invested in conventional aircraft suddenly worthless. Whoever controls this technology controls the industry. Energy independence follows naturally. If the craft generates its own power from the vacuum, no fuel needed ever. Oil becomes irrelevant overnight. Geopolitical power shifts when one nation demonstrates this technology. Whoever has it makes the rules. The stakes couldn't possibly be higher. Patent protection serves multiple purposes. Establishes priority. Creates legal framework. Also signals capability to adversaries. We have this. You don't. Dr. Pais remains employed by the Navy. Still working. Still researching. Whatever he knows, they want him to keep knowing it. That speaks volumes. Research continues behind closed doors. Whatever exists today will improve tomorrow. The technology advances even as we debate whether it's real. Theoretical physics meeting practical engineering is rare. Normally decades separate discovery from application. These patents suggest that gap has closed. Imagine the demonstration. Military officials watching as a craft lifts silently, accelerates instantly, and performs impossible maneuvers. Minds blown. Offensive applications exist too. Electromagnetic pulses disabling enemy electronics. Approaching unseen and unheard. The ultimate weapon platform. Defense is equally transformed. The energy field could stop missiles, bullets, anything. An impenetrable shield protecting the craft from any threat. Radar doesn't see it. Infrared doesn't detect it. Acoustic sensors hear nothing. This craft is invisible to every conventional detection method. A ghost, rapid global response capability. Launch from Virginia, arrive in Beijing in minutes. No warning. No interception possible. Military planners dream of this. Space becomes accessible instantly. No rockets. No launch windows. Just ascend and go. The militarization of orbit suddenly becomes trivially easy. So what's the truth? Revolutionary breakthrough or elaborate deception? The evidence points both directions simultaneously. Frustrating but honest. The evidence keeps accumulating. More patents, more sightings, more officials speaking carefully. Something is happening. The pattern is undeniable. Will we see public demonstration in our lifetime? Each year brings more disclosure. The trajectory points toward eventual revelation. Patience required. Public awareness grows constantly now. More people asking questions. More pressure for answers. The demand for truth increases daily. Congress is paying attention, finally. Hearings happening. Classified briefings occurring. Officials speaking on record. The political pressure builds. But full truth remains locked away. Classification levels we can't penetrate. Secrets kept for decades. The vault stays closed for now. Speculation continues in the absence of certainty. Each theory has supporters. Each explanation has holes. The mystery persists beautifully. The Pais effect represents either humanity's greatest breakthrough or most elaborate deception. Either way, it's absolutely fascinating. The triangular craft flies into an uncertain future. What comes next remains classified. But the questions won't stop. We will keep searching. Real or fake? Breakthrough or deception? The answer hides in classified files, but one day the truth will emerge. And until then, we keep watching the skies.